Hello, dear students. Good morning to all of you. As we were studying the difference between company and partnership and cooperative society, now today we will learn about the similarities and differences between cooperative societies and companies. So, in this series, today is the last class of chapter 2, that is forms of business organization. After this, we will start from tomorrow the next chapter, that is public, private and global enterprise. But before commencement of that chapter, today we should have to wind up this chapter, second chapter. So dear students, now here you can see the similarities between cooperatives and companies are given. So cooperatives means here simply it is meant for cooperative society. So while you have studied the definition and regarding its formation and other terms and condition, which we have already discussed, like formation of cooperative society, steps involved in formation of cooperative society, types of cooperative society, acts are related to them, and thereafter companies formation documents are required. So we found so many similarities between cooperative society and companies. Here I have given some similarities which I have observed, and you can also observe some more similarities and you can note it down in your copy. So first is, both are body corporate registered under their respective law, because cooperative society is always registered under Cooperative Society Act 1912 and company is registered under Companies Act 2013 or any other previous provision of Companies Act. Now next is, the member of both the form of organization enjoy the features of limited liability. It means in the case of cooperative society, all the members enjoy the features of limited liability term, whereas and third term is, both are the association of persons who contributed their capital into the business. Yes, it is a large association of members, it is a large association of persons where each and every people are contributing their capital in the business. And fourth similar term is that in both the cases the management is entrusted to an elected body and the ultimate control lies with their members. It means in both the cases, managing directors or cooperative society heads are being elected by the members and they control the activity or the perform the activity of the organization. So dear students, these were few similarities between cooperative society and companies. Now we will learn about the differences between cooperative society and companies. So while observing the difference, I have given some points of the difference through which we can easily observe the difference between cooperative society and companies. So first is, on the basis of objective, the primary objective of a company form of organization is profit making. Yes, because company is always run according to profit making system. But in case of cooperative society, its main motive to provide the services, and thereafter secondary is the profit. Main motive is not the profit, but main motive is to provide the services to their members, and thereafter profit is secondary term. Now if we talk about the formation, a company is formed and registered under Companies Act 2013 or any other previous company act, but a cooperative society is not going to be registered or incorporated under the same Cooperative Society Act or Companies Act. A cooperative society can be registered under Cooperative Society Act 1912 or under the State Cooperative Society Act, and State Cooperative Society Act will vary state to state. Next is on the basis of capital. Dear students, in a company form of organization, mobilization of large amount of capital is possible, because each and every people are willingful to earn the profit to perform a particular work. So the association has been made by the people, their large amount of capital is possible. But in the case of cooperative society, large amount of capital is not possible, because generally in cooperative society so many people are engaged in the cooperative society, in which so many of them are especially not able to contribute much more capital. And in general sense, cooperative society is formed by generally weaker section of the society, of weaker section of the businessman with the same economic activity. Next is on the basis of number of members. In the cooperative society, minimum 10 members are required and maximum no limit. So no limit is the case, can be the case of similarity, because in public company also there is no maximum limit, but minimum limit is there. So on the basis of minimum limit, dear students, we can clearly find the differences between cooperative society and company, that in case of cooperative society minimum 10 persons are required, but in case of company there is a deviation. In case of public company, minimum 7 number of members are required. In case of private company, minimum 2 number of members are required. In case of OPC PVT Ltd, means one person private limited company, only one member is required. Their minimum is 1 and maximum is also 1. But in the case of private company, maximum number of members will be 200. So dear students, now I think on the basis of number of members,
Hello, dear students.
now according to voting right, if we create the difference between cooperative society and company on the basis of voting right, a joint stock company, it follow the principle of 1 share is equal to 1 vote. But in cooperative society, the principle is followed is 1 man 1 vote. So in case of joint stock company, if a person has 10 shares, it means they have 10 vote. But in case of cooperative society, 1 man 1 vote is there. It will not depend on the number of shares and stocks. Now, if we talk about the locality of the members, so on the basis of locality of the members, in cooperative society, members are located in a particular place or town, because it is created by the local members especially. But in company, it is not generally allocated in one area. It is generally scattered over wide area. Now, next is transfer of shares. If we think about the transfer of shares, in cooperative society, shares are not transferable. But if the members of the cooperative society can withdraw his capital by giving due notice, they can. But in the case of company, members can freely transfer their shares, but they cannot withdraw their capital in any cases until or unless company does not declare for it. Next is closure of share list. As there is no restriction as to the maximum membership in cooperative society, the share list is always kept open. It is not closed at any time. But in the case of company, share list of companies are closed immediately to the subscription of the capital issued, because the membership is also restricted. It cannot provide membership to all. There is some criteria for which the member has to fulfill. Next is it motivates for becoming a member. So in the case of cooperative society, it motivates the member for their common economic and social interest. They provide the membership easily, and it is free for it is open for all. That's why it can be easily started and it can be easily motivated to members. But in the case of company, the motive for becoming a member of company is only getting dividend on the shares held by them. So here the benefit motive is there, but there it is the providing the services from exploitation of the capitalist. So in case of cooperative society, membership can be given easily, but in case of company, membership cannot be given easily. Next is disposal of profit. So dear students, in the case of companies, the profit earned is distributed to its member in the form of dividend in proportion to the shares taken by them. But in the case of cooperative society, surplus is distributed to the members in proportion to the business transacted by them. But for this, it is mandatory that they must have to keep 1/4 of the profit as a reserve. It means how much they are earning in the cooperative society, the 25% earning of the cooperative society must be kept as a reserve. After keeping 25% as a reserve, they can use the rest profit for distribution, but the distribution will be held according to the business transaction held by them. Profit will not be given to those who did not take part in any business activity and who did not contribute in the earning of the business. But in the case of company, whether the members have contributed or not in the earning of the company, simply if they have purchased the share, if they have get the shares of the company, they will be benefited with the dividend. Now next is operational area. So area of operation of a society is limited within the certain locality, that is its functioning in a limited area, whereas in a company the area of the operation is wider. Many companies generally function or national as well as international level. It means if we are talking about the operational area, so operational area of a company, of a cooperative society is limited, because if we are talking about Bihar, the member cannot be from UP and Maharashtra and all. Okay, so in cooperative society the member will be only Biharis. Only in few exception cases are there where the member of the cooperative society are from different state or district. But in company, it is almost seen that the company is anywhere and the members are anywhere. Now, if we are talking about the ownership and control, dear students, in cooperative society, members belong to same area, so the ownership and control is convenient. But in the case of company, members are scattered over the worldwide, therefore they cannot attend all the meetings and also cannot take part in the management of the company. So it is difficult to control the business activity by being at their home place. It is not possible. Now next is incentives. If we talk about the incentives, there are various incentives and ads which are offered by the government to the cooperative society, such as exemption from income tax up to a limit, exemption from stamp duty, etc. But in the case of company, government is not going to grant any kind of exemption, or government is not providing any kind of incentives. So in the terms of incentives, cooperative society is more beneficial for their members, because time to time members are always exempted from a certain amount of tax slab. So these are few differences between cooperative society and companies. Dear students, now I think you all have understood it better and you have well observed the similarities and differences between cooperative society and companies. So thank you.